Greetings YouTube. I am currently working on a spear project, and as part of that project I need to make a slot in the wooden shaft so I can fit the spearhead into it. And I think I've come up with a novel way of cutting the two parallel lines I need to make, the two cuts I need to make for the slot. But then to get the wood out of the slot, what I would normally do would be use a drill bit to just drill out that piece of wood. But that is inefficient, and it leaves me with a slot with a rounded bottom. Instead of having a square bottom, it's a rounded bottom. And that's not what I want. I want a squared bottom slot so that the blade can fit in there nice and clean. At least, hopefully. I am not a master carpenter by any stretch of the imagination. Woodworking is not my strong suit. And one of the things that would make my life really easy is if I had a chisel that would fit in that slot. The problem is the slot is going to be, if things work out, 3/16 of an inch wide, and the narrowest chisel I own is 1/4 inch, and that's the only chisel I could find that small that's readily available at like a big box store. I'd have to go to like a specialty place like probably Rockler to find a chisel narrower than 1/4 inch, and I don't use them very often, so it kind of bugs me, the idea I'd have to go out and buy myself a special chisel just for these occasional projects. So I got myself thinking at work one night, and I said, what is a chisel? A chisel is a piece of hard steel with a specific bevel on the end that lets you cut out wood. It's flat on one side and got a bevel on the other. And I mean, most of them also have chamfered ends like this, edges like this, so that there's room and chips get out of the way and stuff like that. But in essence, just a piece of steel that is good quality and hard with a bevel should do the job, or, pardon the pun, it should make the cut. So this is a file. I own lots of files, literally, in the sense that I have purchased entire lots of files at yard sales and at estate sales. I mean, I got one bucket of tools, which that video about that, a tool haul I had, is already up on my channel on the under a Gear Talk, and in it was, you know, dozens of files, and some of them which I'm keeping and some of which I'm going to get rid of. But this is one of them. Now this is less than 3/16 of an inch, which is 3/16 of an inch is 187 if memory serves me correct. And this is about 145. But that's fine. It's a little bit narrower than what I want, but it means I don't have to do anything to it as far as dimensional. I don't have to change the dimensionality of the object. I just have to cut the slope. So I'm going to cut an angle here with my angle grinder, with the cutoff wheel, and make it as flat as I can. And then I'm going to go about polishing it and then sharpening it to give me the best possible edge. And I am going to make a handle for it out of this piece of hardwood. I think this is hardwood. I think this is oak. Yeah, I think this is oak. Piece of this, just to make a quick handle, because I actually have pre-made handles kicking around, but they're all way too big. They're designed for much bigger files than this one. This is a very small file. So I'll drill a small hole in there and then just tap this in so that I have a handle that is the size I want. Probably make it about, you know, yay big or something like that when I'm finished. Round off the end a bit. And then I can use it to cut, hopefully, to remove the wood out of slots in the future. And I'll have my own homemade file. So the first step is going to be getting some safety gear on, and then cutting this angle, cutting that angle, right, like that, in that steel, or close to that angle. I mean, I tell you the truth, I have no idea how they arrive at the proper angle for a chisel. Because I've seen quite a few chisels in my day, and I own a few. I don't own many. Again, like I said, woodworking is not my strong suit. And they all seem to be about the same angle. So out of curiosity, I should probably find out why that angle is that angle. Is it a specific mechanical reason? Or is it like, this is the angle the first guy that really made good quality chisels picked, and then everybody else just made the same angle because that guy did, so it works? Because sometimes that's what happens. Like the reason that our railroads are the width they are, because it's the same width as a Roman horse's ass that was hauling a cart. Yeah, a horse ass determined how wide the tracks are on our trains in America. Yeah. Technology can be like that sometimes. It's like, why do we still refer to the power of an engine as horsepower? Same principle. Alrighty, so gear up, cut that, and then start making that thing as flat as I can. And I'm probably going to have to break out my sharpening stone, which is unfortunately, I think, out in the garage. I think I'll go get that and bring that back into the house. Because that is my best set of stones that hopefully will be able to let me to get a nice, sharp, flat surface on this. So, next up, clamping and cutting. So here we have the rough angle. I again used a cutoff wheel on my angle grinder, then the flap wheel to do some of the gross shaping, and then took it over to my 1-inch belt sander to kind of clean it up a little. Yeah, I got a little bit of bluing on the tip. I'm hoping I didn't just completely destroy the temper, but then again, I'm not going to be doing fine carpentry. So now I need to probably make the handle, because it'll make it a lot easier to hold it while I'm doing the sharpening. It'll be less likely to damage myself when I'm doing this. So that's the thing in the next project. Cut a piece on that I want from the handle, and then drill a hole so I can slip this in there. And I'd like to get it pretty snug in there, and I'm hoping the wood doesn't split on me. That would be really annoying, but I guess we're going to find out. Oh, and here's a little trick. If you ever split your nail and you don't want to have it be completely pulled off and be really, really painful, I epoxied my nail back in place, and then I covered it with nail polish. And so far, it's been quite successful. It's been about a week, and in another couple of weeks, I'll probably be able to file the rest of it off and not worry about it. But yeah, if you crack your nail, you can use super glue or epoxy to hold it in place while it grows out. Alright, I've got the camera set up on a tripod, and I think I've got this in shot. I apologize if things are not perfect. So here we go. This is the handle already installed, nothing all that fancy. And this is my, let me get this, Norton multi-oil stone. See, number IM313, Norton Coated Abrasive Division, Troy, New York, USA. And this is 3 stones, all been sitting in an oil bath, and the oil I'm using is just Marvel Miracle Oil, I think that's what it's called. And I'm going to try putting a better edge on this than it currently has. So I got a crappy rag here so I can take the oil off it. And essentially I'm going to try to get this to be as accurate as I can. Not the easiest thing. You can feel it. You probably can't hear it, but I can sort of. There's a shift in the tone ever so slightly. I needed to bring this thing in the house anyway. It's been out in my garage for years. I do use it out there occasionally because, you know, it isn't the neatest, orderliest thing in the world. And being filled with oil, it is moderately, you know, flammable. But you'll be better off in here, less subject to temperature variations. I actually picked this up. Oh. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out when the heck I picked this up. I'm 56, so close to 30 years ago, I guess. Maybe? I'm not sure. But I actually didn't pay for it. I traded it. This was a barter. And I traded a guy something I had he wanted, and he had something I wanted, which was this. I might have gotten something else in the deal too, if I remember correctly. I think I might have gotten a blade out of it along with this. This particular stone is very useful for when you're trying to get a flat edge. On something. Yeah, it definitely is coming through. Let me try. I gotta make sure I'm not. How much time I'm doing on this? Sorry, this is probably not thrilling to watch. I will probably cut this out now and then bring you on over when I get to the next stone or the last stone, so you get the final bit. Because just watching me stand here and do this for like the next probably half hour, it's not really going to be all that exciting. And if you're not here, I can listen to NPR. Can't do it when you're here. I don't want to get hit with a copyright infringement. Alrighty, so I'll hop back when I'm at the final stage of this particular sharpening. Alrighty, let's see if I can get this in the shot. Where am I? Here we go. Alright, so came out alright. It's not perfect. The problem is it's really hard to keep this thing perfectly square to the stone by hand because it's so narrow. With a wider chisel, it's a hell of a lot easier to keep it flat. It's not. So I ended up with a slight skew on the tip. That's not going to kill me. That's not going to bug me at all. And it is, in fact, yeah, definitely chisel sharp at this point. I knocked the burr off the back of this, and this section of right there is actually flat. It's not. Oops, sorry. That section right there, at the last, I don't know, 1/8 inch of the file, has no teeth on it at all, because that was the section that was the end. Sorry, this is actually fairly difficult to do. So I'm happy with this because, again, I'm not a fine carpenter. I'm just going to be using this to help knock out wood in grooves I'm cutting in shafts for axe heads and spear heads and things like that. And because I'd like to use wood as a little bit more than I am now. I've been using a lot of steel, and steel's nice and aluminum's nice to use. Aluminum particularly is nice and light. But wood is traditional for spears and things like that, and axes. So being able to get the wood out of a slot with an actual chisel of the width I need it to be, which is 3/16 approximately or less. And again, this is about 145. It's 0.145 inches, and 3/16 is 0.187. So this is about 40 thousandths narrower than the slot should be when I'm done, but that will be okay. That definitely will still work for me. So yeah, it came out okay. I'm pretty happy with this. So there's the completed tool in all its glory. Get my arm way out there. Completed tool in all its glory. Got a nice little wood handle. It's got a nice angle on it. And again, I don't know what the angle is supposed to be. I mean, like I don't know if that angle is designed to be that particular degree, or was it again just an artifact of everybody makes chisels exactly the same angle because everybody's always made chisels exactly the same angle. It's like the conundrum about red paint. Barns get painted red because it's the cheapest paint. It's the cheapest paint because everybody paints their barns red. Which came first? I'm not sure anybody really knows. But that's why we paint barns red, because paint's cheap. Paint's cheap because everybody paints their barns red. But so this angle is roughly what my other chisels have, and it's darn sharp, and it's got a handle, and now I hopefully will be able to remove some wood. So I have to actually get back to the other project, but not today probably, because now it's getting a little late and it's my long day, another 6-day week. So I'm gonna go upstairs, hang out with my wife, do some more chores. But this has been a successful crafting project. I'm quite happy that I got this particular thing made, and it is hopefully going to be very useful in the future. So I'm quite pleased with myself. I turned an old file, which I was doing absolutely nothing with because it was just sitting in a drawer in the hopes that I could find a use for it someday, and turned it into something I should be able to have a use for someday. So, you know, it's a win-win all around. And using this tripod, and that's not a new tripod, using a tripod down here may make an appearance in the near future. I just have to make some modifications to it because the threaded rod that holds the camera in place is a smidge too long, so I may have to grind that puppy down a little. Alrighty, hope you guys had a nice day. Thank you for being here, and I hope that you'll be here for my next crafting video.